Good evening. Hello, everyone. Wow, there's so much going on already in the chat. First of all, big shout out to Arnie Stefan Andersson coming in with a resub on YouTube. Thank you so much for that. And then we had a resub from Lee. Lee, vielen Dank auch dir. Lots of applause for that. And Luke 1549 coming in also with 37 months now. Thank you so much to you, Luke, as well. Big round of applause again. Thank you so much. A lot of people saying hello. Andreas, nice to see you too. Samuel, hello to you. Photochromax, hello. Nelio, hello. And Jean-Philippe, bonjour. Voyager, moin, yeah. Nice to see you, Voyager. Yeah, very surprised you're already here. Very nice. Lee, ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. Lee, Nicotive, Mark, hello, nice to see you all. And then Pot, hello as well. Harry, nice to see you too. I hope you're doing well. Fly Lido, hello.
I'm back. No issues on the walk around.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Oh, nice, Lilo. Yeah, let me know how it works. Right, I do apologize for the quick or the short-term change in plan or flight planning today. We were originally going to do a flight with Puerto Rico in the Challenger 650, a shared flight. So that didn't work out because for some reason there's an issue at the moment with the latest version regarding the shared flight connection. So we couldn't get a connection going, so I had to replan. So today's plan is as follows. We're going to go to do the flight Vienna to Rome on VATSIM. Then the second one is going to be from Sao Paulo to Rio Santos Dumont. Brennelt has given me a challenge for that with a nice RMP circling approach. And then the third one is going to be the one engine out Norway tour, which is almost coming to an end today, but not completely. So I think after today we have about 2 more flights left over. Yeah, Mark, I know, right? Yeah. Lee, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. It's just so much work. I am flying so much. So I'm actually just home for today. I came back yesterday, just home for the day. Tomorrow I've got to leave back to Frankfurt for another 4-day rotation. But then after that, I'll have a few more days off. So next week we'll at least have 2 streams, more likely like 3 streams. Right. Now, I have pretty much set up everything already. So regarding the flight. Oh, hang on. I just need to do something, guys. I just want to replay.
Welcome
there
aboard
it is.
The Captain Black
because I couldn't hear the announcement earlier, so there it is.
Could new subscribers please make
so
your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
So, just dialing down. Mark, or the or my moderators, so Nick or Lee, if you find anything go astray with the sounds, so like VATSIM sounds being too loud, if you could let me know, that would be really good.
Welcome aboard the Captain
and tuning
Black
Johnny, hello to you.
Channel subscriber experience.
Right, so I'll get to Andreas. I'll get to your message in a minute regarding
where complimentary drinks,
the latest NVIDIA driver.
Flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Brennell, thank you much for the 71 months.
Hey Captain and fans. It's great to be here for now 71 months. Excited to see you flying my challenge and later our Norway tour.
Thank you so much, Brennell, for 71 months of support.
Hi, the security and safety checks are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we always finish boarding, but doesn't matter. Brennell, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenge as well. Should be very nice to go and fly back to Rio, and then the Norway tour. Yeah, like I said, almost coming to an end today. So, okay. So the thing is this, Andreas. So I'm always interested to hear when somebody says they installed the latest NVIDIA driver and then they get much improved FPS. That is good to hear. The problem is, yeah, you said it's like you're running DX12 with DLSS, or with at least DX12 with frame generation on. So I still have issues with DX12. So for example, for me, what happens, I will get some weird ground textures on many airports. And it's a known issue with DX12, and I don't know what's causing it. Hey Philip and Deru, hey, how you doing? So I'm a bit reluctant to use DX12 at the moment. Hey Negative, what do you, it's like, oh, you got your, nice. Oh, hang on, you already started. Oh yeah, you said 1st of June, right? Yeah, so GG. You got to get used to the 6:30 wake-up calls, though. Yeah, I mean, you know, student life, I get it. Changing from student life to real-world life, yeah, I hear you. All right. So I was just saying that we almost finished. I'll give you a rundown of the briefing in a minute. And the only thing that's missing, really, I'm just waiting for the online services, so Vienna, VATSIM to come online, and then we're already good to go. Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
So, A320, CR engines, and we've got a flight from Vienna to Rome, no technical issues, and let's go with the departure routes. So we're flying the Irgot to Charlie, most likely, but that's not confirmed yet, which means we're going to climb 5,000 feet. The sector altitudes are as follows. So 4,700 within 25 miles from Fishermen, and outside is going to get higher very quickly. The Alps coming. So we've got to monitor that. Initial climb 5,000, as we said. And the extra fuel, according to the flight plan, is round about... It is an event, so Rome event as well. You never know. I thought I might as well take a little bit of extra fuel today. Yeah, well, Morpheus... Yeah, so Morpheus, thanks so much, guys. Yeah, I just need to get... I'm not in a big hurry, but normally I would be, talking for about an hour before we're able to depart, but I have to do 2 flights, and then we do the Norway tour tonight. So you said, I think you said 17:30 UTC, correct? Yeah, 15 minutes is fine. That's good. So in 15 minutes, if I get the clearance, that's all good. Yeah, no worries. So that's fine. You don't have to come on earlier. Thanks so much for the offer, though. Good. We have taken on about 40-minute extra fuel, just in case. And the alternate is Lima India Echo Oscar, which is Olbia, Costa Smeralda, Olbia. And they have thunderstorms there as well around. So the weather otherwise should be okay. Wow, look at that, severe turbulence forecast to 80. Now, I've been to Rome not too long ago. Last week I went to Rome. Yeah, exactly. So that's in Sardinia. Yeah. So I've been to Rome in real life a couple of days ago, and so that was interesting. Hopefully, we're going to get the 1.6 left approach. No, 2.5 is wrong. So that's, you never land on 2.5. It's going to be 1.6 or 3.4. Don't know why SimBrief does that. Adventure? Well, I don't know. I don't normally. I say this. I don't think it's a big event, but I think it's wise to take a little bit extra fuel. Good. So we covered the extra fuel. Taxi out. Now we're parked. Currently, we are parked on the south side today. So we're parked, I think it was Foxtrot 17 or something. Yeah, Foxtrot 17 is where we're parked. Have you seen the new Terminal 1? You mean in Rome? Yeah, because we parked there. So I'm going to see one other aircraft right now. Not much traffic at the moment. It's quite pretty quiet. So pretty quiet for a I was on the Austrian there. Beautiful. Lovely. Look at that. So that's that. Yeah, taxi out, not too complicated, push back, and we'll go and probably go Tango Lima 37, exit 4, and then we have calculated the Alpha 3 intersection again for departure. I mean, maybe it would have been wise maybe to go Alpha 4, even though we'll take Alpha 3. Yeah, Brennell, normally, you know, yeah, the last couple of events have been somewhat exciting. So I did divert from Nice to Marseille on the VATSIM event. And yeah, the Terminal 1 is new. Yeah, it's fairly small, actually. I was quite surprised. It's nice and modern. They've done it nicely, but yeah, it's fairly small. Yeah, the other one was into London not too long ago. Remember that one? From Berlin to London, and we had to fly so many holding patterns. And I even took lots of extra fuel. But still, that was a close call. Yeah. Okay, so taxi out, engine out procedure goes straight ahead. Now, there's a special procedure, which I haven't changed yet, but I need to. So it's oh, why am I doing that? So we are going to go ahead and no, not stare out. Sim2 Pro. There we go. So it used to be 7.4 DME Fisherman and then left turn Bravo Romeo Kilo. I need to change that because that's not current. What we'll do, 3-4 will be very likely for landing. So we'll do left at 7.4 DMEs from Fisherman. And then we'll go downwind 3-4 radar vectors and do the approach runway 3-4. We are... So here's the chart for that. So left off, downwind, return 3-4. Hey Robert, how you doing? Nice to see you too. Good. That. I'm just put 1215 here already because we are flying on VATSIM. So might as well go ahead and do that. What else? Stop margin regarding our RTO with the intersection. Yeah, it should be no issue whatsoever. So we should have more than 5 centimeter stop margin on that runway. Cool. So what else happened, guys? Anything exciting? Any questions?
No questions.
Cockpit preparation checklist.
Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Fuel quantity.
7,200 kilograms balanced.
Seat belts.
On.
Adheres.
NAF.
Barrow ref.
QNH 1016. 1016. Set and checked.
1016. Set. Cockpit preparation checklist completed.
Oh, Brennell, you don't have to get up early tomorrow. Okay, so we don't have to go full blast today until we do the Norway tour. Fantastic. Okay, that's good. Anything that happened aviation-wise? Guys, anything that happened that I missed or haven't commented on yet? What happened? So 57.9 and 29.1.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box
Okay,
Twitch channel
correct.
subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Alpha KL, thank you much for the 20 months.
20 months, 4 to go for a birthday cake by BB.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for the 20 months, Alpha. Big round of applause for that. Alpha, I hope you're doing well. The weather here is in North Germany and I think in the Netherlands is beautiful, right? Yeah, Oliver, regarding the passenger door opening last week, we already commented that on the last stream.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch
yeah,
channel
to be honest,
experience.
it surprised a lot of people.
Subscribers, please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
And also Tom coming in. Thank you so much for the 29 months. Tom, hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for your support. That's really kind. Thank you. Yeah, so a lot of people were surprised that that passenger was able to open the door, even though you usually have a differential pressure, so a positive pressure in the cabin. So right now we are at a differential pressure of 0 because all the vents and outflow valves are open. However, in flight, the lowest you get really as soon as you take off until touchdown, you have plus 0.1. That's the lowest PSI you would get, but still a positive cabin charge. So the plug type doors would be pressed into its seals and into the latches. So you would have to open the door by pulling the handle all the way up, and then have the door come inwards against the inner pressure of the cabin before then it goes outwards, and then with the automatic assisted door opening system. But yeah, that is a bit strange that that happened. You're wondering why some of the A320s don't have the analog VOR indicator. Yeah, it's the newer aircraft. They decided at some point that your indications on the nav display is enough to have, and the cross switching you have available, for example, there's so many things you can switch around. They think that it's just not necessary to have another analog indicator there anymore, and I think that's fair. Yeah, Avenger, but like I said, at 200 feet or 600 feet, maybe it was still 0.02 psi. But yeah, it just goes to show that the differential pressure at that point wasn't big enough to. Yeah, and I commented also on the fact that I was not happy about that subject being published and discussed on all of the social medias, all the social platforms, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. Oh Jesus! Oh, Reynolds!
Thank you for your kind donation, and please join us on the captain's table.
Reynolds, vielen Dank. Another huge donation, 20 euros. Reynolds, thank you so much. He writes for my challenge. So Sao Paulo.
For my challenge, I already got you. Sao Paulo to SBRJ with a very special approach never seen on this channel.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I checked the chart and that looks very interesting indeed. Yeah, looking forward to that. And Brendel, thank you so much for your kindness. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I commented on that was unhappy about this, getting so much publicity, because then it didn't take long for someone else trying to open the door in flight, and that was actually at Lufthansa on the flight to, I think it was Praha or something, or Zagreb. No, I think it's Praha, and that was a cruising level, and of course, at cruising level, you have zero chance of opening the door at 7 to 8 psi differential pressure.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so 8 pounds per square inch. That is just too much to fight against.
Or exits by using the overhead lockers or the area under the seat in front of you. Place items and far forward as possible underneath the seats in front of you.
So 5 more minutes, then we're ready to go.
Available space by putting the bags in the lockers sideways. Please be careful not to put anything heavy in the overhead lockers, as these items could fall out when they are reopened. This is for your safety and the safety of those
Oh,
around
I've got
you.
more traffic now. Cool.
Portable electronic equipment such as games, computing and word processing equipment may interfere with the aircraft systems and must be switched off during takeoff and landing. Portable telephones must be
Brenold, I don't know. You know
switched
what?
off during flight.
These safeguards,
Please fasten your seatbelts ready for departure
you know,
and make
I always have a
yourself
feeling
comfortable.
that it could fail at some point, and you just do not want to have latches, you know, staying closed when you want to have the doors open. So I think at the moment that's just the way it is. There's a little risk, you know, that someone can open a door at a certain altitude, but I don't really approve of any other latches. Okay, so sorry, Tuning Johnny, you also wrote you bought a 4070. The sim runs now with TAA and FG. What's FG? Always send the FF plus no matter. They're sorry, frame generation. Yeah, it's a frame generation. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I need to check that again to see if there's any problems with the ground textures. Right, for those of you living in Europe, especially in Germany, and you're planning to go on holiday from the 12th to the, I think it's 23rd or something, the big air defender. And I was cycling today, and I actually heard, so there's one of the training areas is right above my house. I mean, it's far up. It's like 30,000 feet or something, but I can hear the aircraft dogfighting, and then I went cycling, and I heard some fighter jets close by, and I looked, and it was 4 F-18s in a formation going by. So fairly low, actually. It's quite surprised, but yeah. So it's already picking up, and the 12th, and I think it's almost 10 days or 2 weeks. It's going to be somewhat chaotic. We shall see. Yeah, gifts back. It's. I think it's a shame. I just do not have, you know, that much time at the moment, unfortunately, to do much flight simming. But definitely, yeah, hoping to get some more DCS going soon. Oh, nice, Mark. Yeah, 18 A10s. Yeah, they're going. I think here in Germany. Yeah, they I don't know where exactly they're stationed, but yeah, there will be lots of sonic booms, Brenold. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a rotation starting on the. Let me see. So I've got one coming up now, tomorrow on Friday, and then I've got another rotation going on. So the 16th and the 17th I've got to fly, and then 19th to the 23rd. So in that period. Yeah, I'll probably be right in the middle of it. But we will see, and I will report on the chaos. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled, yeah. Right, so the tower has just come online. That's nice. So it shouldn't take much longer, and then we should have ground, and we can get that clearance. In the meantime, let me actually go ahead and prepare.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch
Hey,
channel
Sim
subscriber
Caesar.
experience.
How are you?
Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Hello Black Box and friends.
Thank you so much.
BB711 beloved.
Thank you so much for the 53 months, Sim Caesar. Sim Caesar, how are you, first of all? And yeah, how's the streaming going? How are things there? Restrictions, yeah, Brennel, there will be, depending on the daytime, there will be several sectors closing. So they have, I think, 3 big areas over Germany where they will do their exercises, and then those will be closed. So I think airlines have already taken precautions regarding thinning out the flight plans and so on, and cancelling flights. So I think that's already ongoing, yeah. David, you're new to VATSIM. Okay, you got okay. So here's a tip for you, David. Go to an airport which is not so busy. So have a look somewhere, where. Yeah, I mean, London is always very busy. A and B, the controllers there, even though I think they speak very clearly and are very good. I know it can be a bit daunting to understand at the beginning. Yeah, so keep practicing. Just don't get too discouraged. Keep trying. In real life, it's a little bit of a kilter. Okay. But flight simming and streaming is wonderful. So, okay, that's cool to hear. Okay, so yeah, SimCs, hopefully IRL will get better soon. Yeah, for me, SimCs, yeah, I'm so busy right now flying in real life. It is a little bit too much at the moment for me, really. So, but there we go. I can't. I will fulfill my contract, no doubt, and but it just means at the moment a lot of people are going on holidays, and our flights, so that's something I can say, our flights are still unbelievably booked. So I've never seen so many. Oh my god. Pod!
Thank you for your kind donation, and please join us on the captain's table.
Learning a lot from your streams. My overrun's getting way better. Smile.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you so much, Port, once again for the €50 donation. Big round of applause for that. Thank you so much, Port. That's really, really kind of you. Thank you for your support. And I hope, I'm getting some very good responses from the short videos that I'm doing on YouTube. I've got one more coming up tomorrow. Maybe 2. Tomorrow I'll cover the expedite descent and expedite climb functions. Because really, the weird thing is, I've actually had that happen to me in real life. We departed out of Manchester, and we checked in with Scottish Radar after departure, and he told us climb now, flight level 190, and expedite climb until out of level 100. And so we were at 250 knots, and I just pressed the expedite button, and man, this thing, then the target speed becomes green dot.
Welcome aboard,
and you get some crazy climb speeds.
Channel subscriber experience.
So it does actually happen in real life, and that's really, really cool to be using.
First class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Yes, Laranja.
Age of majority Kappa BB 711 below.
Kazipaya, thank you so much for your 18 months. That's really kind. Kazipaya, I hope you're doing well. Age of majority. I'll thank you, Mark, for the link as well. Okay, Brennan says also he's struggling with the London controllers. I mean, I guess sometimes they have a little bit of a, some dialect, but normally I think I can understand them really well. The ones I had problem with the other day was in Cairo. I had some issues. We have information Golf at the moment. Station is LO.
Vienna ground, good evening, Ryanair 986, park descent, Charlie 42, information Golf, unit 1016.
LOWW.
Runner 986, Wien, ground hello, no flight plan.
Whoops. That would never happen to me.
Roger, I'll send a flight plan.
Thank you, Casapaya, that's really kind. Yeah, so Lorenzo was asking if the avionics bay is pressurized. Here in the A320, everything's pressurized except for the landing gear bay.
986, flight plan is fine, ready to copy.
So the cargo bays, avionic bay, they're all pressurized,
Runner
yes.
986, information, Golf, cleared destination Prague, Lanux 2, Charlie departure, climb 5,000 feet and the squawk is 1,000. Clear to Prague, Lanux 2, Charlie, climb 5,000 feet, squawk 1,000 and information Golf, Runner 986.
Yeah, so Sim Caesar, did he...
No, 986,
That's also interesting. Did he mention something about, you know, a autopilot mode that helps him do the expedite climb or expedite descent? So the interesting thing is, the other day, Tail West, who is a real-world captain as well for an airline, A320 Captain, and he's also an instructor captain, he said on his airline, this button doesn't exist. Well, it's I don't know if he completely says it's deactivated or... so stand by. Oh, there we go. So we've got the PDC now. We have... we're cleared to Rome by the Rupert to Charlie. Okay, that's a different one than I expected. Runway 29, climb 5,000, squawk 1,000, connection 1016, report ready on 19.4. We will confirm that. Wilco send. So let's put that in. Squawk 1,000. We already have the 5,000 in the box up here.
Open 2343, Wien, ground hello, Golf, correct, cleared to Rugarda, Alpine 1, Charlie departure, climb to 5,000
Good,
feet,
so
squawk
that's
is
that.
1,502.
And the Rupert to Charlie. So let me change that real quickly. We go there. We'll zoom up. Rupert to Charlie. Insert. And then from the Rupert, it's direct to Graz. Just gonna check that here.
Open 2343,
Yeah, there we go. So that's the departure route now, Rupert to Graz, which means, however, I'm going to have to put this on my chart plate here. Yeah, so I love the with videos from from Citation Max, because he does all these flights to these really interesting airports with the communications there. You know, the clearances he gets. Controlled airspace, uncontrolled airspace, visual approaches, RP approach, etc. So it's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So I was just saying that some airlines don't even have that expedite button on their A320s, or they tell their pilots they're not allowed to use it. We are allowed to use it. However, we have to be careful with the speed trend. Just to make sure that we don't go and overspeed or go below green dot.
Wing ground, good evening, Granner 7177 with information.
So let's go departure.
Granner 77 Mike Zulu, Wing ground, hello, information, Golf, clear to Rome, Rupert to Charlie, departure, climb 5,000 feet.
Oh, someone else going to Rome. Nice. Nice. Right, so I'm searching for the Rupert.
Rupert to Charlie. Departure, initial climb 5,000, squawk 1,000, runner 7177.
Runner 77 Mike Zulu, confirm, calls on runner 77 Mike Zulu, feedback correct.
There, found it. Rupert to Charlie.
Stand by, please.
So, runway 29 means climb 291 track to 1,000 feet, then whiskey 296 383 172 Rupert. So let's check that. 296 383 172 Rupert. All correct. 5,000 feet is set, and that means we're ready to go.
Yes, this is wrong call sign. My real call sign is Ryanair 77.
So he said when ready, call 121. 19.4 that was 19.4.
Ground, good day. Ryanair
But why tap? Report ready. Wien Tower, Servus, the Austrian 711. PDC received, connection 1016. We're ready. Just confirm we contact ground. Oh. Push to talk. Wien, delivery or tower, Servus, the Austrian 711, fully ready.
Alpha 711 with a hello, contact ground 121.775.
121.775. Copy it, Austrian 711.
$1,000.
Austrian 103, clear to Munich, Soviet 1 Charlie departure, and climb 5000, squawk 1000.
Von 103, correct?
In delivery, hello, the Austrian 711. PDC received, connection 1016, fully ready.
Von 711, push and start approved facing east.
Push, start approved, facing east. Dankeschön, die Austrian 711. Oof! So this way. Yeah, Captain Ranger, absolutely. Yeah, the US is a lot further regarding, especially LPV approaches. Yeah. Before start checklist.
Parking brake.
Set.
Takeoff speeds and thrust.
133, 144, 146, flex 67. Flex 67. Set and checked. Set and checked.
V1 133, VR 144, V2 146, flex temp 7 degrees. Windows
closed.
Beacon
on.
Before start checklist completed.
Einer 986, push and start approved. Push and start approved, Ryanair 986.
Hey Pele, nice to see you. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. So nose right, tail left. So there's one more company message which I'll check. Oh, you have? Nice. Yeah, I get a lot of responses on that. So the people say, oh, you know, I recognize your voice on FS2 Crew. Yeah, it's really cool. Starting engine 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a little short video on the engine, automatic engine start. So start valve opening. About 16% we'll start seeing the... there we go. So ignition, fuel flow coming in 80%, I think I said. It's so weird. So Voyager, 2 days ago, I think, I was on live YouTube again with my landing and takeoff. It's so weird seeing yourself, you know, at least on the replay than on those live streams. I have to say, I do feel the pressure. I mean, you know, thousands, it was like over 1,000 people watching your landing. Oh, my last rotation, my landings were so terrible. Starting engine 1.
Okay.
But the one I did on the stream, that was actually greaser. So that's the only greaser I did, and I did that at the right time. Well, when I say my landings were not that good, I mean I didn't grease them. So I had not, I wouldn't say hard landing, but I had more positive landings. It's so weird sometimes. So let's do. So we'll do that. No one would know if you didn't mention it. Well, I mean, you know, showing the FO. Well, the funny thing is, Mark, I tell you this, so no joke, my FO started it. The first landing of my FO was terrible, and then I just followed suit, and we just couldn't get it right. It was so annoying. But then my first officer then greased it, and I don't know. At that point, I was like, okay, now I have to follow, because if my first officer starts to grease it, okay, I have to do something. So that's all done. Flight control check.
Ready. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Rudder.
Full left. Full right. Neutral.
What stream? I don't know. What was it? Robert Lowe or something? Competition in the cockpit. Yeah, well.
Roger.
After start checklist.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Ecam status.
Checked.
Pitch trim.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin,
Rudder
where
trim.
complimentary
Neutral.
drinks, snacks and
After
premium
start
flight
checklist
entertainment
complete.
will be served. Thank you.
And Eternal coming in 17 months on YouTube. Thank you so much, Eternal. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the continued support. Austrian 711 request taxi.
Austrian 2434 again.
He's very quiet. Yes, FS2 crew payload, yeah.
2343, roger, push and start approved facing east. The LOWW station calling?
Yeah, the Austrian 711 request taxi.
Austrian 711, roger, hex taxi holding point runway 29, via Whiskey Mike, KNH 1016.
Whiskey and Mike holding point 29, KNH 1016, Austrian 711. Clear left side.
Clear right side.
996 taxi holding point runway 29 via Mike, KNH 1016.
Holding point runway 29 via Mike, KNH 1016. Runner 906.
Runner 6 Alpha Uniform stands for 0, request push start.
6 Alpha Uniform, when clear of Rainer Boeing 737-800, right to left.
Brake check.
Should start approved.
Pressure 0.
Boeing 737 and then push start approved.
So,
Ryanair 6 Alpha
Whiskey Mike is all the way. So Whiskey is the crossing one and Mike is the parallel again. Yeah, close to the runway. And then I guess we can tell him that we're able Alpha 3 for departure.
Information H, gate 3396.
Is a 1609 wing ground, hello, information hotel cleared to Prague, landings to Charlie departure, climb to 5.
Is ATC okay for loudness?
01.
Or could it be louder?
With 1609, say again.
Is the 1609 cleared Prague via Lanox 2 Charlie departure?
Okay, fine. Fantastic. Thanks for the feedback.
And the squawk is 1701.
Thank you, everyone. We are on live time. It's 1750 UTC.
With 01609er, cleared for Prague via
Taxi checklist.
Lanox.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F.
1609 negative.
Radar and predictive wind shear system.
On and auto.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff no blue.
Taxi checklist completed.
That's on 103, pushing for the close to orange line.
Should be switched off as we are now about to start our pre-flight safety briefing. We are now going to take you through our safety procedures and equipment.
Ryanair 77 Max 2 requesting push.
I was busy, so we'll take.
The safety car
Ryanair 77 Max Zulu, pushing for the close.
oxygen mask
Push and start
and
through
life
Ryanair
jacket.
77 Max 2.
It also shows
Austin 711, contact Clean Town 119er decimal 4 service.
E-Tower 94, Dankeschön, tschüss, die Austrian 711.
On the main deck, there are 2 exits at the rear of the first class cabin and 2 at the
So
front and rear of the
departure,
front
according
cabin.
to the chart,
On the upper
is
deck, there is an emergency exit on each
3467.
side, in the middle of the cabin. In the unlikely event of having to use the escape slide,
I only see 32.6, so let me just dial that in.
slide. Please now ensure that your table is folded away, your seat back
So
is
was
upright,
Tower again, the
armrest
Austrian
down,
711, ready
and
for
your
departure.
seatbelt fastened.
Austin 711, hello, wind variable 2 knots, 29 clear for takeoff.
Runway 29 clear takeoff, Austrian 711.
When the fastened
Being
seatbelt
tower.
Line up
fastened,
checklist.
Takeoff runway.
seats and fasten your seatbelt securely.
29 confirmed.
Takeoff runway confirmed.
Good evening.
Approach path,
and
clear of traffic.
Austrian Airways 320.
Runway 29 confirmed.
To avoid
TCAS.
being disturbed in
Cabin
flight.
crew be seated for takeoff.
TARA.
Packs 1 and 2.
Off.
If the cabin air supply
Line up
fails,
checklist completed.
oxygen will be provided. Masks
Ready?
like this will appear
Ready.
automatically. Stay in your seat and pull a mask towards you. This will open your oxygen supply. Place the mask over your mouth and nose like this and breathe normally, adjusting the band to secure it. Do make sure your own mask is fitted before helping anyone else. Your life jacket
Take off.
is underneath or beside
Check.
your seat. In the event of landing on water, remove the life jacket from its container and pull it over your head. Pass the tapes round your waist and tie them securely.
Manflex 67 SAS, runway auto thrust blue.
To inflate,
Checked.
pull the
Thrust
red bubble
set.
as shown. The air can be topped up by using the mouthpiece. There is a whistle here for attracting attention. Do not inflate your life jacket until you are outside
100
the aircraft.
knots.
Checked.
We will supply life cots for babies and life jackets for infants. Finally, ladies and gentlemen,
V1.
please study the safety card and take notice of the fasten
Rotate.
sign. May we remind you that electrical portable items such as games, computing and word processing equipment
Positive
may
climb.
interfere with
Gear
the
up.
aircraft systems and must be switched off during
Gear up.
takeoff and landing.
Enough.
Portable telephones must be switched off while the aircraft engines are running. As this is a low smoking service, the no smoking signs will remain on for the duration of the flight.
Turkish 57 Kilo Vista, good evening. Ground landing approved, taken at the end of the runway. The wind variable 2 knots from the 34 Deutschland.
Thrust climb up blue auto thrust.
Packs are on.
Contact Clean radar on 134 675.
34675 Austrian 711 service.
Ryanair 986, wind variable 2 knots, 29 cleared for takeoff.
Runway 29 clear takeoff, Ryanair 316.
In departure service, the Austrian 711 passing 2,500, climbing 5,000.
Set.
Austin 711, wind radar hello, identified. Climb 11,000, 11,000 feet.
Climb 11,000, Austrian 711. So 11,000 blue. Thrust climb up blue. Back into the gone. Welcome back. I love those showers. Look at that. Beautiful. Flaps 0.
Speed checked. Flap 0.
Device 975, descent 8000 feet, cleared 1016.
Descent 8000 feet, connection 1016, device 975.
So one thing I want to do, some settings, cabin stuff, cabin lights. There you go. Beautiful. Right on the departure road. Yeah, Nick, if I had more time, I would definitely already put in some DCS, streams. But I'm literally home for 1 day now only. Maybe next week. So next week I've got like 3 or 4 days off, and then I would have a bit of time then.
Right, descent 6000, high speed approved.
Hey, episode 5. Yeah, that side stick, I like it. Yeah. Yeah, Nick, the thing is for me is frustrating. I have so much cool peripherals now. F16 throttle and the collective for the Apache. Yeah, definitely love to have more flying. What airport do you recommend for beginners? David, there are some smaller airports around, and also have a look, David. Sometimes you have these VATSIM events for beginners. That's always good to have.
What about now?
It was 975 speed 250 knots.
250 knots, thank you.
On how to install FS Labs.
711, climb flight level 240, proceed direct to Cockpit.
Climb level 240 and inbound to Cockpit. Dankeschön, die Austrian 711.
Standard cross-checked, passing flight level 106. Now.
Checked. That still cracks me out. Now.
Set.
Oh. Landing lights off. Seatbelts off. Seatbelts off. There we go. Right. Lovely. Oh, those clouds. Pretty. Yeah, lovely. Love the atmosphere tonight. Love it.
808, contact arrival 119 out of 18, call sun on details.
Look at that.
Advise 975, descent 6000 feet.
Descent 6000 feet to the base 975.
Yeah, and I don't know any specific airports that are always or often manned. If you go to VATSIM events, David, so there's a lot of airports that have certain weekdays where they will always be online. So, for example, Wednesday it's Vienna, and I can definitely recommend Vienna. Vienna have very good controllers, and if you can hear them just now, if you can understand what they're saying, that would be a good place to start. Because they also have some smaller airports around Vienna staffed. So that I could definitely recommend.
Aviation, very good evening. My name is FENIX, passing 50230 for 170 low by Mazda, inbound Mazda, and exclamation hotel.
106 Lima X-ray, Vienna, hello, identified hotel correct, expect
Pot says Africa often has center controllers where there are only 1 or 2 aircraft for the whole area. Okay, so Africa, okay, there we go.
986, stop climb flight level 180.
Cool. Let's have a look how far up we want to climb today. So we set 340 cruise, Optimus 35, max 38. So really, normally in real life, I would probably go for level 360 unless the wind data says otherwise. But today, yeah, the winds are 230, a bit of headwind. But they're not really much different, and they're not that strong. So today, actually, I would actually go with 360 in that case. Exactly, Oliver. Yeah, that's what I was referring to. Yeah, they have beginner events from time to time, so that's definitely recommendable.
Austin 711, contact being radar 126.275. Bye bye.
126275, Dankeschön, tschüss, die Austrian 711.
Edelweiss 975, contact arrival.
Just as I was about to take a drink here. Servus Wien, die Austrian 711, we're passing 190, climbing level 240.
711, Windräder, schönen Abend, Radar contact, climb flight level 340, proceed direct, UZ.
I'd like to climb level 340 and inbound to UZ. Dankeschön, die Austrian 711. Ah, UZ. There we go. So 340, still without blue. That's interesting. You know what? When's the last time I flew on VATSIM in Africa? I don't even remember.
6, 7, 8, you are
Gorgeous
outside my
views. Look at that.
Milano is currently offline, so you can continue on Unicom 122.8.
Unicom 122.8, speedbird 678.
Just going to say one more thing. That is all done. Let's go en route. Yeah, okay, we are on course towards Graz. Graz I've been to a lot of time lately, and I will be there this weekend actually. Beautiful city, really lovely. So Graz. Oh, Pula as well, Croatia, very nice. North Ancona, and then we'll go and fly to Roma, Bella Italia. Let's check the ATIS. So we're going to go with arrival ATIS. Hey, 16 left, cool, excellent. So we may have a bit of tailwind, wind the calendar from behind it, but we'll take it. 16 left, that's cool.
And Wilco Eurowings 81 Hotel Victor.
Last minute ticket to Graz it is then. Yeah, that's cool. So Rajiv, yeah, that's nice to hear. Yeah, all the best for you as well. Oh, there was one video. There was one video that I watched not too long ago. Was it Mentor Pilot? And he was going on about how. No. Oh no, somebody posted a video link on my Discord, and it was about some general misconceptions about, or even how some instructors teach certain things, like the creation of lift, or how VORs work, etc., which are actually wrong. So, so what has happened, and I agree with that person. He's a physicist, I think, but he also loves aviation, and he has got a private pilot license, I think. And so, you know, he went through flight school, and he learned some of these general. It was a Scott Manley. Okay, so Scott Manley. Okay. Guys, if you wanna have a look on YouTube, search for Scott Manley. Yeah. So, and unfortunately, I have to say, some of these things were taught at my flight school. Although the VOR stuff, that was actually taught in the correct way, because it's either frequency modulated or amplitude modulated regarding that those signals. And so, but he did some very nice explanation on how these things really work. And another thing that that you being taught at flight school is the following, and that's really interesting, because some engineers or experts on aerodynamics, they know exactly how lift is created, right? So let me just get positioning. So let me dial down the sim sound as well. Hold on. I'll dial that up once I finish explaining. Yeah. So the misconceptions of what's being taught in the wrong way is the following. So the idea, the lift creation is caused by the difference in the airflows of the upper and lower wing, meaning that they tell you in the flight school that the particles, so the molecules, air molecules that are separated by the wing at the front will meet again at the same time at the rear. So since the wing is curved on the upper side, the molecules going on the upper side have to accelerate in order to meet the lower particles at the same time at the end of the wing. And so that's why you have higher airflow on the top, i.e. lower pressure, compared to the air that's below the wing. And that's obviously a very, very simple way to explain things, and that's easy to understand, right? Although that is wrong. It has been proven that the molecules do not meet up at the same time at the rear of the wing. So the lift creation is caused by the airflow being forced over the top of the wing because of a certain angle of attack. And again, the lower pressure being caused that way compared to the lower wing pressure. So they prove that's concept with a simple idea that if you have a rectangular shaped wing, so not a curved wing, it will still create lift, right? Even though it's not curved on the top. At a certain angle of attack, so if it's got a slight angle of attack towards the airflow, even if it's a rectangular shaped wing, it will create lift. Now, the thing is, you're asking yourself, well, how are these things taught wrong then at flight schools? And he did mention that a lot of these explanations make it easier for the instructors to tell their students, right? So Photochromax says also explain. So that's Bernoulli's first grade student explanation. Yeah. Yeah. So so the these kind of little inaccuracies are being taught. The same with the VOR. So when we even if it was he referred to Captain Joe, because Captain Joe made a video about VORs. So the navigation aids on the ground that give you radial. So let me just tune one. So there's Graz, for example, behind us there. So that gives you now a radial.
101 looks like Italy is still at dinner. I can offer you silence on this frequency and a little bit of extended service, or the sweet, sweet silence of Unicorn.
Oh, well, we'll take the extended service then. Thank you so much.
Roger.
Yeah, the VOR. So we got a VOR right behind us here, right? So you got the radials, so you got the needles pointing towards that station, Graz, at the moment. And so currently we are flying away from that station. So that's why you have the head of the needle. Let me just get this one away. So we've got VOR1 now. It's pointing towards that station. It's behind us. That's our aircraft position. It's behind us, right? Now, from that station, we are on the radial, let's say 218. Okay, 218. If we go inbound, it would be course 038. right, or 037 right now. So how does that? How do our receivers and how does our equipment know that we're on that radial? So Captain Joe was explaining it, and that's what flight school, flight instructors will tell you about. Signals rotating around, right, 360-degree rotation, and then you have a tune or synchronizing signal. Was it 3 signals per second or something? So it's timed, and so the receiver apparently would have known on what radial it is because of the time difference between the signal or the synchronization signal and the time that elapsed until it receives the info on the radial itself. But that's not true. So it's difficult to explain this. So you see, I'm already struggling trying to explain this without animation, without pictures. So it's difficult for instructors. I see that, right? So if you try to explain then without animations, how you have a kind of a sinus wave, right, for the synchronization, and then a rotating, so frequency, frequency or amplitude. So frequency being frequency changing, or amplitude is signal via amplitude means loudness. So the signal gets louder and gets quieter again, right? So it makes that curve regarding a loudness of a signal, while a frequency is a signal where the frequency increases and decreases. So different modulation, that's the word I was looking for. So you have different VOR modulation types, so either frequency or amplitude. But again, to explain that, how the VOR really works, A, takes more time, and B, really requires an animation like that's shown on the video there. Now, he does say, so Scott Manley does say something very important, and that is, it doesn't have any effect on the safety of flying. So it's not that safety relevant whether or not a pilot really knows exactly how a VOR works, or how exactly lift is created at the wing. The important thing is a pilot understands what happens, at maximum angle of attack, and what happens with a stalled wing, knows what to do in case of a stalled wing, etc., etc. So more procedure-wise, if you like. And it's something I've said many times on stream as well. So when people say, "Hey, I've just done my ATPL, or I'm going to be doing my ATPL test very soon," so how much of that stuff that I'm learning now is actually needed later on in real life, in the real world flying? And so there's many things in aviation, so being a pilot, that are really, really important, but they are more on this side, on the practical side. Yes, of course, there's still a lot of theoretical knowledge you have to have, and you have to be able to call up. But I'll give you an example. It's quite a funny story. An instructor said to me at some point, and he said he had two students that were learning to fly the A320. Very clever people, and they had an enormous theoretical knowledge of the systems. So they knew exactly the electronics behind the systems. So they knew which systems are tied to which bus, right? AC bus, DC bus, you name it. They knew everything by heart. Amazing stuff. Now suddenly they get a failure, electric failure, and the autopilot drops out. Right. So what do? They start a discussion, saying, "Oh, that's interesting. that failure, so the autopilot 1 system is tied to the DC bus 1, and so that's why blah blah blah, and the autopilot 2 theoretically should actually work because the DC bus 2 is powered still. And they were discussing this for 5 minutes, and the instructor, without saying anything, he just reached from behind and pressed on that button. He didn't say anything, he just pressed on the autopilot 2 button, and the autopilot 2 button engaged. Right, and they went, oh, you see? And he said, well, why didn't you guys just press the button? Right, so why do you have to discuss this for 5 minutes while the autopilot is off, right? Aircraft is flying along without autopilot. So, it's kind of a tendency trying to tell your peers how much you actually know and how good your knowledge is. That's something that's completely irrelevant in such a situation. In such a situation, you have your checklists, you have your procedures, and you make sure that you fly the aircraft. So aviate, navigate, communicate, right? Try to keep workload low. Yeah, Pele, absolutely. The human factor side is always very fascinating. So, give you another example. I told you about a colleague of mine who is also very intelligent, and he's also a fantastic person. He's got a brilliant personality. I really, really like him. And he struggled, however, during flight training when we got onto the multi-engine part. So, on the twin props, he suddenly struggled when he had an engine failure. And so I said to him, well, tell me your thoughts. So when you have an engine failure, where do you look? Right, where do you look and how do you react? So what's your thought process? And he told me, he said, well, when engine fails, I look at the RPM, and then I see the RPM drops, then I know the other is still running, and so that is producing more thrust, more power. So that's the side I have to press the rudder pedal on. Hey, that's cool. They're paralysis of analysis, Port. That's a cool one. I like it. Yeah. And he said, well, how do you do it? And I said, well, I look outside. I can see the nose is yawing to the right. I can feel the aircraft yawing to the right. So I press the left rudder. Right. And then I look at the instrument and confirm my initial thoughts. All right, so that's the thing with theoretical knowledge, which is good, and the more you have, obviously, helps in certain areas.
Duo channel experience.
But
could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin?
It's not the holy grail when it comes to aviation.
Snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Fox Mike, thank you so much for the resub. Fox or Mike, thank you so much. Big round of applause for you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for the support. So, question from Oliver: do you in real life experience some directional VOR flickering? Yes. So, depending on the signal strength, so how far you are away from the station, receiver accuracy, you could have some flickering as well. Very small kind of movements. You can sometimes see that here in the sim as well. So my personal approach when it comes to flying professionally is the following. First of all, you need a good basic understanding of the aircraft that you're flying. So there's no excuse not knowing certain important things about the aircraft. That's one. Two, limitations. You need to know the limitations of your aircraft. That's very important. It's also very theoretical, but that's also, in the practical sense, you come across very often. So maximum, flap speeds, gear speeds, you name it. So all of these different limitations that are important for the safe operation of the aircraft.
YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
And Captain Chaos coming in with 16 months. Thank you so much, Captain Chaos, as well on YouTube. Captain Chaos, I hope you're doing well. How are you? Good evening.
103,
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Okay, so lots of questions coming in. Let me go. Yeah, just let me finish my thought here on how I approach flying. So limitations, very important. Then comes your memory items flying. So memory items, you need to know them. You need to have also a certain toolbox always available. Even if you're tired, stressed out, whatever, that toolbox needs to be in place for you to manage situations. It's sometimes very basic, aviate, navigate, communicate. It can be more complicated regarding certain procedures. Yeah, you know, the handling of procedures, priorities, etc., etc. But again, I am somewhat against trying to be an engineer in the flight deck here. It's not that's not your job. All right, your job is to fly the aircraft as safely as possible and manage any situation, be it weather-wise, be it, you know, technical-wise. That is your job. That is your responsibility. Whether or not I know exactly which systems are linked to the AC Bus 1, well, I will find out. If something fails, you know, it'll tell me, and I can then, if really required, go into my EFB, look into expanded procedures, etc., and then look it up. But initially, I know how to handle all of these different failures. Right? I know I can still fly the aircraft. So, give you another example. Let's say suddenly you have unreliable airspeed.
Heading 114, contact
Well, you have to then do your memory items. You have to make sure the aircraft stays within its flight envelope. That's your main goal. Fly the aircraft. It doesn't matter if you know exactly which probe, which static port, which TAT probe is linked to what of the systems. Initially, it doesn't matter. Initially, it's your priority to stabilize the aircraft, keep it flying, right? Then, of course, afterwards...
711, that's an additional country skipped. Unfortunately, still no ATC, and my ATC knowledge ends here. Monitor Unicorn 122.8, schönen Flug, gute Landung, servus.
Vielen Dank. Wie immer eine Ehre. Noch einen schönen Abend und 122.8. Thank you so much. Take care. That is very cool. Well, pitch and power. Yeah, Oliver, exactly. Pitch and power. So, for example, I know for all the COs that we have, just an example, I know, and even the 321s, I know the fuel values I want to have include the pitch value. So 2.5 degree pitch, 1,200 kilograms. If you're heavy, 1,300 kilograms fuel flow per engine. That's it. It doesn't matter how high, how low you are. You will, if you set those pitch and power values, your aircraft will neither stall nor will it overspeed. But again, you have to set your priorities right. And if you have your main priorities right regarding, your procedures, your knowledge about limitations, etc. If you then have the time and memory space available in your brain and the enthusiasm, well, then by all means go and learn all the little details about these systems. Please do, but again, make sure you prioritize correctly. So your main priority is not to know everything exactly by heart, what these systems do, and then maybe forget on how to do certain procedures, right? So concentrate correctly, set priorities correctly, and then you'll be good. That's it. That's gone on strike. No. I think they did say they're going to start about, I think, half an hour from now. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so we got some questions. JMB or JMB Gator, you said you built a new PC for Microsoft Flight Sim and with the FENIX. What are the must add-ons utilities for Microsoft Flight Sim? In my opinion, there's two that I would really recommend. One of them is the Flow from Parallel 42, so this app here. That is really, really, really nice. I can definitely recommend that. The second one would be the FSI panel. Because if you want to practice flying, the FSI panel will give you so many cool options to practice, set up the aircraft quickly, you know, plan fly approaches, etc., etc. So that's a big, and in my opinion, fairly inexpensive tool to get. And there's a lot of improvements all the time. So. So let's have a look for Rome, Fiumicino, 16 left, 3,900 meters available. Sectors a bit higher to the east, otherwise they're fine. That's good. Next question. Yeah, so photochromax, I agree on that, yeah. So, an aerospace engineer does not necessarily make a good pilot, yeah. And the pilot is no engineer. Simple as that as well. GSX. Well, if you want, I mean, GSX, it is not bad. It's just somewhat, a mixed bag sometimes, that's all. Right, we're coming over Croatia here, so we should see Pula. Let's have a look. Ah, there it is. That's Pula. They're right there. Look at that. I have a feeling the servers are running better again on Microsoft Flight Sim. Because like 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was somewhat Eternal. Sorry, I missed Eternal. What was special? Sorry, what special? Let me just check again. Eternal. What did I miss something? Oh, GSX. Yeah, it is special. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, it's good for humor as well, right? So it does give you a good laugh from time to time. Remember the Frankfurt airport the other day, where we had the marshaller not on the ground but right on top of that terminal building. That really made me laugh. So it's good for humor, that's for sure. Fox Mike, sorry, you asked, can you make an RNF approach using selected? Well, yes. Well, oh, hang on, RNF approach. No. No. An RNF approach, you can use RNF with NAV and then a selected vertical guidance mode. I did post a... Well, let me just trying to find that document.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
That's the wrong one. That's the... And the resub from Mr. Mango, sir. Thank you very much for the 3 months. Big round of applause as well for that. Thank you so much. Mr. Mango, sir, how are you doing? Where find real pilots of black box? Where to find? Well, what do you mean? Where I get the infos from? Well, I've got my sources, but again, all the infos on the 711, so Black Box 711 website is for flight simulation use. It's not meant to be for real world flying. And it clearly says that everywhere, so. Yeah, if you want a link, so Mark has been, so Lindley has been so kind to give you the link for that. Oh yeah, I did a rage quit GSX at some point, yeah, probably. Yeah, that can happen. Right, there we go. Beautiful. Alep, yeah, so I think we'll be landing in about 45 minutes. So I did time it so that we should be able to land with ATC. Yeah. Yeah, so Julian, I do plan to do it on VATSIM, yeah. And the weather right now at Santos Dumont, they had variable winds. Let me just have a look. Actually, I can do that here. So let's go. So right now they have, even they've got southerly winds. So runway 20 is going to be very good. Fantastic. Hey McFly, yeah, Grüße an dich. Grüße nach Frankfurt. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so where I have my sources where I do get, the infos regarding the AOSIDs, so engine out SIDs, and the NADP infos. Although, again, just to stress something, different airlines can use different NADPs, so noise abatement departure procedures. So the ones that I've published are the ones that we are using at our airline. However, it doesn't mean it's being used by all the airlines. A lot of airports give out recommendations, but there was an airport not too long ago where it even said on the notes, it said, contrary to the airport recommendations, it is recommended you fly the NADP 1, for example, instead of NADP 2. So, yeah, again, it's a little kind of service for the flight sim community to get more realism. But again, I'm not saying that it's everything according to real world, and it's not for real world flying. All right. Oh, nice. So Andreas says IRL, it's 20 left for landing as well. Cool. That's really nice. Love it. Hey, Bob. Nice to see you. How are you? What have you been up to lately? I know you've been moving around. So, Bob, nice to see you. And Haley Pilot, nice to see you too. How are you? I guess it's harder to find an A320 with real world flying than the appropriate documents. Well, yes, and also you have to realize that a lot of these documents are some, I wouldn't say classified, but they are obviously not freely available anywhere, and so that's just the way it is. And again, we are flight sim enthusiasts, so anything that I say here, anything I show here, it's for flight simming. It's not for real world training or
snacks and premium
whatever.
Flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
So Fliegen ist cool von den Fluglinien. So the airlines will give out the infos to their pilots. So we have EFBs, so the electronic flight bags that we get from the company. They will have performance takeoff calculators, landing calculators. They have the documents, etc. So everything you need to know as a pilot. Voyager, vielen Dank. Das ist ganz lieb. Thank you, Voyager, for gifting us up to 777 Bob. Let me give out some lovely emotes here. Thank you, Voyager. Yeah, copyright, yes. Although, I mean, there's always lots of documents circulating around the internet, and so if I were obviously going to take some documents and just copy them out, make a photo of them and publish them, yes, then I would be in trouble. But anything that I post is literally available everywhere else, or on some. You could find them somewhere else quite often. Did you in real world get rid of the cool big pilot? Yeah, well, my pilot bag isn't that big, and it's not a classical carry-on as you would know. You remember these the leather ones, the ones that I did have one at flight school a long time ago, but no, I don't carry it around. It has wheels, and it's good for my old back. Oh, let me have a look, Bob. Hang on. Oh, you're in Amsterdam? You're joking. You are in Amsterdam right now? That's cool. Fliegen ist cool, ja, bin ich. So. Hey, Captain Mitchell, nice to see you. Who in the right mind goes willingly to Amsterdam? Right, we've got the east coast of Italy coming up. So let's just do a quick fuel check here. So we've got AMZ coming up. And let me check, do we have that on the flight? Oh, we do. So 46 minutes after departure, we're supposed to cross AMZ. We departed at 46 we departed, so 1746. Let's check. 1746, so we're supposed to cross AMZ at 32, right? So 1832, we're supposed to cross it, and we're supposed to have 2.9 plus the extra, which is 1.6, so 4.5. So 4.5 tons is what we're supposed to have. And what do we have? 4.6? 4.7. So we've got 200 kilograms more than required. And we've got 38. So that for no, 32. So a bit late. So 6 minutes late. What happened? Oh, that wind is completely different. Look at that. 70 knots of wind. I don't think I have that on the data here. Hang on. Active winds. Oh, actually, yeah, it is. Look. Descend wind. So, wind is correct as well. Interesting. Sierra Papa Lima. Yeah. Yeah, I do fly the A320, yes. I fly 321, 319, 320 Neo, 321 Neo. Roma is now, at least ground is online. You asked for direction of Papelina. I don't know. So I don't know, Oliver. I guess it just has to do with the routings and other aircraft that the company already had. I think back then it was the 737s pretty much had the size of 318s. So and then you had the Embraer, etc. So there's not really a need for that. So information Charlie currently. Still 16 left, 23 degrees, 1014. So let's prepare. So let's prepare everything. 1014. Temperature. Oh, I need to do one more thing really quickly. Control options. There we go. So, temperature was it 17? No, 23. 23 temperature. And the wind is 290 at 8. I'm going to put that in there. Let's do some landing calculations here. Landing performance, we always have to calculate that. So now that we know the runway 16 left, we can determine that we have a little bit of tailwind. The landing weight is about 62 tons. Got to burn a little half tons, so 62 will do for landing. 62.0, and then we have auto thrust off. And we're going to do idle reverse flaps. Shall we do a config 3 landing? Let's do config 3 landing. We have a long runway, orbit low, and then we've got a dry runway. So that will take us to a landing distance requirement with, or factored landing distance requirement of 2,550 meters. Hello MCK, how are you doing? So low and cool. One more thing before we start briefing, etc. So we're currently planning for a arrival routing, which very likely we will not fly. What do I mean? I mean the star is planned for the RETEP 3 Bravo. So you can see that the part of that arrival route, that star, is very long. So if you look straight distance from that fix to the runway, compare that to the rest of the routing. So what I'm trying to say is the FMS, or the MCDU, Flight Management Guidance System, it's calculating with that complete arrival routing. And hence the top descent is only correct for these restrictions and the rest of the routing if it's flown completely according to plan, which most often in Rome it's not happening. So what I always advise is put in the runway identifier here into the progress page. So now we can already see with 90 miles, so we're already, if we go straight in, we would already be a little bit high. So I'm also already going to descend myself to about level 200. So we're going to go descend out blue 200. Exactly, already too high. And Zeno says 3 Alpha. Can I need to check 3 Alpha? I don't remember exactly which one I flew the last time. So RETEP 3 Alpha. Just to check that, because I normally think this is the one we file normally. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's the thing. We're coming from the east. Yeah, you're right. So from the east side. Yeah, because I often come from the west side, and then from the west side it often is a different one. It's not RETEP though. Yeah, you're right. It's the RETEP 3 Alpha. I'll take that back. But still, the RETEP 3 Alpha obviously is the same thing, just the other way around, mirrored if you like. So it's still a very long arrival route, and if you go straight in. But let me just change that in the MCDU. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. So we'll change that arrival. There you go. Yeah, thank you, MCK. Right, more drag, it says. So initially... So the first restriction that we're going to have here is between 190 and 150. So yeah, we've got to go down. We won't make that one. Yeah, that's the thing. So Kshibil arrival is normally what we're flying. Triple Bob, oh yes, that's a beautiful wing view. Lovely. Yeah, Bob, chances are pretty good. Yeah, chances are good at the moment, it looks like. Oh yeah, let me just demonstrate to you. Let me just demonstrate what happens if I press expedite descend now. So when I press that button, you'll get expedite descend indicating on the FMA, and the speed commanded will be 340 knots or Mach 0.8, whichever is higher, or whichever is current regarding Mach or speed. So now it's saying Mach, so it's going to pitch down. And this is like an emergency descent now. So it's going to pitch down, try and reach that expert descent speed. And yeah, it's an emergency descent. But you got to be careful. You got to be careful because as it gets towards 340 knots, because right now it should be in speed mode, not Mach mode anymore. You see 340? That's the absolute maximum speed you're allowed to go, or very close to it, let's say. And so you risk running into that. If the autopilot is a bit slow in pitching up, that momentum will take you into the overspeed. Yeah, you shouldn't really go above 6,000 feet per minute. The reason for that is apparently the TCAS system doesn't work if you get more than 6,000 feet per minute. So that's the expedite function. Now, if you want to get out of the expedite function, just use a different vertical mode, like open descend or managed descend, or vertical speed. And so now it goes back to normal speed mode, etc., etc. No, the MCDU has, it's similar, but it's not exactly like the real aircraft. You've got to realize that the real aircraft often has different software standards. It gets upgrades, etc., etc. So let's go 150. So for now, we don't have service yet. Are we that early? I'm just wondering if I should enter the holding at RETEP until they open up. Shall we do that? Yeah, why not? Come on, let's do a RETEP hold here. 10 minutes. All right. So inbound is... what's inbound? It's a 161 right turns. Let's do that. So now we're going to slow down to green dot speed, and we'll fly the holding at 190. So 190 out blue, I'm going to fly the holding pattern. No, so Airbus 05, I'm not in the beta team, no. Disregard that. So the minimum for the ILS approach would be approach. Whiskey 16 left normally. So whiskey approach normally is used. And the minimum for that is 290. Ratnav, let's do and set Campagnano and Ost, yeah. So Ost and Charlie Mike Papa. Yeah, so Washi, we couldn't get a connection, Outstar. So that's the problem. We couldn't get shared cockpit. Yeah, so flaps 3, good point. So we want to have flaps config 3 here. At the same time, we'll select config 3 on the overhead panel here. Get some lights going. Just looking for my FS2 crew panel. It's kind of disappeared somewhere. When was the last real flight? 2 days ago. Right, I just need to restart FS2 crew so I can enter the approach data. So there you go. So let's approach transition level here is transition level is 70, that's correct. Decision height AGL is about 275. MSL it's 290. Airport elevation is about 14 feet. Are you ready for the approach brief?
Go ahead.
So, we're flying the ILS Whiskey approach, Rome Fiumicino, and it starts normally out of 2,500 feet, fairly low, 7.8 from the ILS. Will descend, 3-degree profile, minimum cap 1, Baro 290, missed approach will take us first of all 450 feet, track 159, and then we go outbound or left turn to a max 200 knots, intercept followed radial 172, that's 352 course to Campagnano, Charlie Mike Papa, and then we'll maintain 2,000 initially until 15 miles and radial 172 from Charlie Mike Papa. And only then afterwards we climb to 3,000 and then 4,000. 4,000 will be the next limit as we get to Campagnano there. So 4,000. So initially 2,000 goes in the FCU. Fuel at the moment we have extra available 44 minutes. Yeah, we did take a bit of fuel because I was expecting Milano to be very, very busy. But right now there's no control draw online. I mean, I have 7 more minutes, so I'll give them 7 more minutes and then we'll see. Fleeing is cool now. I don't disclose what routings I fly. Do you have any kind of training before you sim check? Well, we have. Well, not really. I mean, what we have these days is called an EBT. So it is kind of a evidence-based training. That's what it stands for, EBT, evidence-based training. It's a mixture between line-orientated flight training, so scenarios that are being thrown at you. So you do normal flights A to B in the simulator, and you have certain failures, certain issues, whatever, and you have to deal with them in real time using all of your knowledge, your procedural skills, your human resources, so CRM, crew resource management, etc., etc. and it's designed that way so that if you have any kind of failure in the real world, you will feel that you've already had lots of these situations already gone through in your simulator training, and so you have your concept, and you can really call that really quickly. Then, of course, there's also some mandatory things like low visibility operation, engine failure, RTO, rejected takeoff, etc., etc. So those things have to be checked, and that's when those are the things you can train to a certain extent. Now, what I do use is actually here the FENIX or the FS Labs and the FSI panel that add on to train for certain scenarios. Which is really cool. So yeah, that helps a bit. But in the end, I mean, you don't have your co-pilot here at home. So in the end, you can only train to a certain degree of proficiency, and then the rest comes in the simulator. Yeah, so the term, so Green Dot Foxtrot, the term evidence-based training means that you do the briefing on the first day. So you have 2 days simulator, so 2 times 4 hours mission. So on the first day, you get together with your co-pilot or your captain, depending on if you're co-pilot or captain, and your check captain. And then you have a briefing. You'll talk through, what to expect, etc., etc. You don't get told what's going to happen. You know roughly the area, so which airport. You have a number of certain different scenarios that could happen, and the instructor then will choose one. So you'll start out with one scenario, and then based on the evidence of your performance, so depending on how you did, according to many, many different aspects, the instructor then will use the rest of the training, so the rest of the simulator time on both days, to enhance your knowledge, enhance your abilities. So if he finds that you're showing certain weakness in certain areas, let's say you have a weakness in leadership competence, let's say it shouldn't happen, but let's say the instructor thinks you have that, well, then there are scenarios available in the toolbox that would train that area. Or let's say you have an issue, with manual flying. You're a bit rusty, and your manual flying skills have kind of gone downhill a bit. Well, then there are certain things where you can train your manual flying ability or your hand flying abilities, etc. Exactly. So the instructor will evaluate your performance as you go along, and the idea is to finish the 2 days of simulator training, and you have a feeling that you have improved on your skills. So it's supposed to lead to a positive outcome. Yeah, so I am planning to do the Challenger stream next week. So there we go. So we got 2.5.5. Fantastic. Right on time. Like it. Roma, buonasera. From Austrian 711. We're in the holding retap level 190.
Austrian 711, ciao, Roma, identified. Continue descend in the hold to flight level 110.
Descend in the hold level 110, Austrian 711. So there we go. So we're going to do this with vertical speed. Hey TNS, how you doing? If a general competence issue, well, that should really happen. But again, exactly, MCK, yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Uter 117 Roma.
Well, MCK, the manual flying skills can be trained to a certain extent, with cross checks, your scan. But yes, of course, certain things like turbulence, crosswinds, etc., can only kind of be procedurally trained and yes, in the real world, obviously it does. But that was just one example. I mean, normally you don't see deficiencies regarding hand flying.
Ciao Ryanair 77 Mike Zulu, stop descent flight level 180.
For what reason did the flap 3 approach? Well, normally the flap 3 approach is actually the preferred choice because it results in less drag, which means lower engine thrust, which means less fuel flow, less noise. So the idea is to think about a flap 3 approach, and if there's any reason, you know, concerning the landing distance available, be it contamination on the runway, which then makes it a mandatory flap full approach. But let's say you have, you know, tailwind, which actually we do have a little bit today, don't we? So, yeah, well, we don't have much. I tell you what we'll do. We'll try a flap 3 approach. Maybe I can prove that it's not such a good idea when using flap 3 in a bit of tailwind condition. But your main priority, obviously, is the landing distance required. So we set that with that config. So if we say a flap 3 landing, idle reverse, automatic low, 2,500, but we have almost 4,000 meters available. You see, so that's why a flap 3 approach is manageable. The only issue would be if you can't control your airspeed on the approach. But I mean, if it's like 5 knot tailwind, it shouldn't be an issue. We're fairly heavy still.
711, you can leave the old and join RETEB 3 Alpha arrival, ILS Whiskey 16 left.
Steve asks, you have currently flying Microsoft Flight Sim through Game Pass. Should I invest in the premium deluxe version?
United Zero Tango, disregard was not for you. Break, Austrian 711. You can leave the old and rejoin RETEB 3 Alpha arrival for LS Whiskey 16 left.
Thank you much. We'll exit the RETEB hold and then we'll continue on the RETEB 3 Alpha approach, runway 16 left, Austrian 711. Right, there we go. So I pressed immediate exit. So now reaching RETEB, the aircraft will continue on its path on the arrival route. That also means we could go back to normal speed. So I'm going to go back to 230 knots at least.
Ryanair 77 Mike Zulu, descended flight level 90.
So Steve, in my opinion, have a look at the different things that these different versions offer.
With the 117 is the RETEB 3 Alpha, by the way, will be vectors for
because of,
ILS
with the different versions, you have certain things like some more handcrafted airports, etc. So have a look. But in general, I don't think, although, I mean, Working Title, for example, is working on the 787 and 747. So the standard versions. And I'm not sure, is the 787, does it come with a deluxe version only? I think so. So yeah, have a look here as well, you know, because I can't tell you what to get because I don't know what aircraft types
117 would be
you really like.
For ILS Whiskey 16 left.
So anything else? Oh yeah, taxiing. So taxiing is one speciality here in Rome. When you go a taxi in, there's a standard 1 taxi routing.
711 descend flight level 100.
Descent flight level 100, Austrian 711. So there's one, so 100 loop. So vacate one of these high speeds, and then standard 1 takes you down Delta 3, and here we've got to switch over normally to the apron frequency, 1 to 1.9. And there's a new terminal here. I'm not sure if that's modeled here though. So You then go and get the clearance to taxi to your stand. Yeah, here's the new terminal.
United 06.
So quite often we get November Golf, Golf Hotel, whatever. But yeah, the standard one arrival. Is it really? It's poorly modeled. Okay.
United 06.
But standard one means you go down Delta
miles to run, contact
to Delta 3.
118.7. Ciao.
Contact tower 118.
So we're on the RETEP 3 Alpha, 230 knots. There we go. Single engine taxiing. Okay, we'll try. It's not raining, so no. So the thing with shared flights, so I'm a spike flights. I'm flying the FENIX. So the only aircraft I do shared flight with is the TOLIS, and if you're a member of the beta team of that shared flight app. Hey, Insane Base, how you doing? Thank you for the offer, those spike flies, but yeah, here in Microsoft, I don't do shared flight. It's just too much of a hassle with the connection issues, etc.
Zulu, descend to 6,000 feet on QNH 1015.
How do you get the top center mark on the flight director? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, you mean this? Well, this is just a vertical deviation pointer, so currently below the path by 4,000 feet, it says. But that's because it's telling, according to the whole arrival routing, which at any point can change, and we literally...
711, descend, first level 90.
Descent level 90, oxygen 711. So if we go straight, we will be perfectly on path for straight in. So that's only 41 miles. The whole routing is 83. So that's a 40-something mile difference between the direct to the final, or to direct to runway, and the arrival routing. Well, no. So Captain Ranger, I have people here in the community that have tried, and there is lots of issues.
Romeo Foxtrot 442, proceed direct Exama.
So whenever you have a desynchronization and you can't resync, that's always a really kind of annoying, because you spend so much time trying to troubleshoot. Okay, so Spike flies. So I tell you what, Spike, if you want, Spike, give me a shout on this email. Give me a shout there, and maybe we can set something up. I didn't know you're part of the shared flight beta team.
110, speed 210 knots. Uter 117, speed 210 knots.
Yours not showing up? I don't know. Normally it will always show up. Even if you're very low or very high, it should show up.
Uter 117, are you able to maintain 2?
Have you sequenced the flight plan? So you've got to make sure that the flight plan is sequenced, your NAV mode. But if that's all correct. Yeah, so MCK, there's an aircraft there.
Okay, 210 knots.
And there's an aircraft there as well, so we're already getting busy.
Uter 117.
So if you fly the complete procedure, we're going to be arriving still with about 3.6 tons, so we still have about half an hour extra. So plan B, stay in Rome.
Confirm left 120.
Negative, sir. Left 200.
Oh, sir, sorry, left 200.
Okay, Spike. Yeah, like I said, give me a shout. I will. Yeah, we can definitely try a shared flight on the.
Ocean 711, left direct Correction, right direct Exama, descend 6,000 feet.
Right to Exama, descending 6,000. Grazie, Austrian 711. So there we go. So 6,000 it is. And the QNH.
Austrian 711 and QNH 1015.
I was just about to ask. QNH is 1015, copied Austrian 711. So there we got a shortcut. Down 6,000. So we'll set the QNH. Any questions?
No questions.
So it's going to do his flows now.
Ryanair 77 Mike Zulu via descend 4,000 feet on QNH 1015 via Exama, clear left Whiskey 16 left, report established.
Descent to 5, correction.
So ILS, India Fox Lima Lima.
5 via Exama.
Identified.
ILS runway 16.
Inbound course 159. Hey Hilo, how you doing?
Ryanair 77 Mike Zulu.
Where are we going to dinner after? Well, I mean, there's so many good restaurants in Rome. Man, I mean. Approach checklist.
Barrow ref.
QNH 1015 set.
1015 set. Seatbelts.
On.
Minimum.
290 feet set.
Auto brake.
Low set. Low set. Set and checked.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist completed.
Thank you. So we were supposed to have 200 knots at Exama. Currently, let's see, we've got 24 miles. So we're going to do this now with descent altitude.
Austrian 711 descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1015.
Austrian 711 descending 5,000, QNH 1015. So regarding that deviation pointer, have you got everything set? So your cruise level, make sure your cruise level
117 left 170
shows up on your
Left
progress page. And then you dial in a new level, it should show you that deviation there. I don't know if it doesn't show up. I have no idea, to be honest, because it usually is there. So speed going managed now.
This 8 Charlie Alpha, very good evening to you. Identified. Continue
the nav display
level 100.
So this blue arrow shows you where you reach the flight control unit altitude, so the 5,000, given the current rate of descent. And Agrigor, hey, how you doing?
Ryanair 77 Tango.
Thank you much, Spike.
170 direct Oculus.
Ryanair 77 Tango,
So
ciao, identified Roma, Riteb 3 Alpha.
Flaps 1.
Correction, Gito.
Speed checked.
Foxtrot, arrival for
Flaps 1.
15 in Ciampino.
Hey Yoda, how you doing?
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
The reason
117 descend.
The reason why the top descent arrow will not show is if you don't have your cruising level.
Descent 708
Yeah, and yeah, you need to have the flight plan route.
711 via Exama, KLS Whiskey 16 left, descend 4,000 feet, report established.
Via Exama, cleared DLS Whiskey 16 left, descend 4,000, I call established, Austrian 711. So 4,000. So we still don't have a glide stop indication yet. Let me just go with lock blue. The rest should be coming in soon.
Tower on 118.7, Ryanair 77 Mike.
So we still have 15 miles to run.
Swiss 1732 Chorum identified. Continue descent flight level 110. Retrieve 3 Alpha arrival ILS Whiskey 16 left.
And Yoda, thank you so much for the 16 months. Yoda, ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. How are you? There's the runway.
Good evening, Roma.
Right, we've got the glide communication as well, so I'm going to go press the approach button now. So we have glide slip blue, lock blue, cat dual, autopilot 1+2.
Lima India Charlie Juliet Palermo.
002, ciao.
Tower is 18.7, we'll pre-dial that.
Break, Swiss 8 Charlie Alpha, continue climb level 200, free speed.
I love the accent, it's so cool. The immersion is so good. Outstar. Now we're cleared for the approach, so I'm going to go down to 2,500.
17, reduce speed to 200.
So vertical speed.
Reduce speed to
Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
So nice continuous descend here. Superstar. So we got glide stop star, lock star, and we'll set missed approach 2,000 feet.
Trainer 77 Tango Tango, descend flight level 100.
I don't know why that's magenta. That's wrong. Because we're only approach mode now, so that's weird.
Hotel 117, descend 4,000 feet on QNH 1015.
It's weird how sometimes you see these things.
Descend 4,000 feet, QNH 1015 feet, 117.
And Hotel 117 left attending.
Radio altimeter alive.
Checked.
Left 10 degrees, feet, 117.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Austrian 711, fully established, 16 left.
Austrian 711, thank you very much. 8 miles to run, Tower 118.7.
That's me, the 18.7, ciao, Austrian 711. Very cool. For me, Tower, buonasera, Austrian 711 on the ILS Whiskey, 16 left. Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Number 2, President traffic, 6 mile ahead.
As copied, Austrian 711. So final setting, VLS check 136. 136 looking good. And yeah, now 2000 missed approach is set. Landing checklist.
ECAM memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist completed.
Yeah, so 2000 is pretty much a hard altitude. So we normally set the hard altitude in the FCU. So we wouldn't go and rely on the managed climb for the missed approach. Manual thrust. Manual flight. Beautiful.
$1,000.
Checked.
1,000.
Checked. Right, he's just vacating. Very nice. Everything set. Looks very nice indeed.
Austrian 711, wind 290 degrees 6 knots, runway 16 left, clear to land.
16 left, clear to land, Austrian 711. Yeah, so we still have a bit of tailwind, so if I go look at the ground speed, compare that to true airspeed, it's about 4 knots tailwind component right now. And it still says 20 knots, so it's going to halve apparently until touchdown. So we compare the wind that we have indicated to the tower wind, And then be prepared for some wind changes.
Contact fire,
It doesn't say it's going to happen here in the sim,
contact the ground.
but it's typical right now, like this, it's quite
100
typical
above.
to have that happen very late, so very close to the ground.
Minimums.
Continue.
Minimum 200.
So I'm going to go with the Parpies here. Light stop shows a bit low. Still 18 knots wind, actually we are a bit low.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Come on, grease it. Are we down yet? Oh, we are down. Lol.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Decel.
Прямотор Брейдинг, литер 117, локальный ротабель странный, was 16 right.
117, Cima Tower, buonasera.
It's better than my real world landings.
70 knots.
Clear to land.
16 right, clear to land to liter
Risking 16 right. I'm going to take the next high speed here. Cheated, yeah. I'm not joking. That's much better than my real world landings.
Good evening. Tower
on the last.
8328 is approaching Bravo Bravo.
Easy 8328, Cima Tower, buonasera. Line up and wait, runway 25.
And then from runway 25.
Oh, good. Thank you, MSFS. So we'll start the chrono for 3 minutes for the engine shutdown.
Fiumentino Tower, buonasera, viewing to Whiskey Juliet in sequence at Bravo Bravo for runway 25.
Viewing to Whiskey Juliet, Cima Tower, buonasera. Hold that Bravo Bravo.
Hold that Bravo Bravo for viewing to Whiskey Juliet.
Austrian 711, welcome to Roma. Continue Standard 1. Buona serata.
Standard 1, thank you. Austrian 711. You see, Standard 1, just like in real life, that's all they say to you. And the next one is going to be 1219.
056, hold that Bravo Alpha.
Going to pre-dial that.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the captain and the entire crew, we'd like to welcome you to our destination. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt
After landing checklist.
leaving all items
Radar and predictive wind shear system.
Off.
signs have been switched off.
After landing checklist completed.
Before you leave the aircraft, please ensure you have all your personal items and hand luggage with you. Please be careful when opening overhead lockers as items may fall out causing injury.
Ito Row.
We'd like to remind
Easy
you that
jets.
smoking is not
Beautiful,
permitted
yeah.
until you've reached a designated
Is it so
area.
MCK? You say the scenery is subpar. Is that daytime and nighttime, or more nighttime compared to daytime?
If you're connecting to another flight
Easy 8328, wind 290 degrees 6 knots. Runway
Yeah, it is from MK Studios. Yeah, you're right.
This will lead you on to your departure terminal, and please check your gate number in the departure lounge.
Inter 117, welcome to Roma. Contact ground 121.9 south.
Straight to your departure terminal.
Texture quality is quite low. The shape of the buildings.
Once again, ladies
Inter
and gentlemen,
117, frequency is 121.9.
thank you very much for choosing to fly with us today.
Thank you, Washi. Yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy with that landing. Yeah.
Line up and wait, runway 25 for viewing
Airbus
to
asked
Whiskey
how
Juliet.
real does the Warthog flight stick compare to the real stick? Okay, so one thing, when people are able to try out or move the flight stick of a real 320, they always tell me that it's a lot stiffer than they thought. So you have to have a lot more force to move the flight stick in the real aircraft. So the Warthog, even though the Warthog feels good in the sense of, you know, it's getting close to the real stick. Exactly. So the dampening, and that's really the key word. So the dampening of the real world stick is obviously stronger.
8328, identified 1000 feet, contact Roma radar 125.5, ciao.
125.
So 3 minutes.
Bye-bye, easy 8.
APU is running. Shut down engine 2.
Fueling to Whiskey Juliet, wind 290 degrees 6 knots,
yellow
runway
lick pump
25, clear for takeoff.
On.
Good for takeoff, runway 25 for viewing to Whiskey Juliet.
Carro 2056 behind the departing Vueling A320, line up and wait, runway 25 behind.
He's very slow.
Behind the
Oh.
departing Airbus
Reminds me of
A320
Turkish
Vueling,
Airlines
line up and wait
sometimes.
behind it.
Man, they taxi so slow sometimes as well. Blimey. Is that a Ryanair? Now we've got to be careful not to go above 40% and 1. Otherwise we'll theoretically have to go back with a 3-minute cooldown. Are we there yet? No, but he's
Good night,
hurrying up now.
Black box.
Lilo, thank you much for watching. Good night to you. So what to expect now? So once we are going to ground, normally there's a sign. So when you get close to November, so the Papa 3, there will be a sign saying contact ground. Delta 3, there we go. So Delta 3 we should normally switch over. Let's do that. Fumi ground, buonasera from Austrian 711.
Austrian 711, welcome to Fiumicino. Continue taxi to stand 502 via Delta, November Golf, Hotel, November Whiskey.
Austrian 711, taxi stand 502 via Delta, then November Golf, Hotel, and November Whiskey. So Delta, November Golf. Let me go back to daytime charts, although I can't see anything. So Delta, November Golf, Hotel, and then November Whiskey. So let me find 502. 502. There it is. There. Oop. So we're going to go left, November Golf, Hotel, and then November Whiskey. Cool. That's how we're going to do it. Oh, there we go. There's a sign, actually. Contact ground, 1219.
7, thank you to flight to Fiumicino. Bye-bye,
That's
have
really
a good
cool.
night.
So not Echo Golf, no, November Golf we go. And we can actually go a bit faster now. So would the Whirlpool sticks match? I've never used a Whirlpool stick, to be honest. Well, I only have the helicopter collective, but I never used a Whirlpool flight stick. So now November Golf to the left. Ois says he's got a flight stick. They're very nice. Are they? Man, I don't think I've spent so much money on flight sticks. I've bought an F-16 throttle. I've bought the Whirlpool Collective. What else did I buy? Man, I just feel I've bought so much stuff lately. Oh yeah, you're right. I heard about that. Yeah, you can add dampeners, so you can tune the stiffness of these the sticks. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna go second to the right, hotel. Yeah, I can see what you mean with the lighting. That's a shame. Yeah, you can do that so much better. Yeah, that's the okay, so it's pretty dark. They switched off all the lights.
Pushback stand 408.
So yeah, that's very dark. So here comes hotel.
With Air 1880 Fiume ground. Good evening. Pushback is approved.
It is expensive, yeah.
1015.
Push approved.
So now we are on hotel, and
with
we're going to wait for November Whiskey, which should be coming up soon. Oh, we have GSX, so parking gate 502. Hey, we got it. Nope. So that's November Zulu. No, we want November Whiskey. And there it is. So we'll turn left here.
Fiume Ground, good afternoon. So this is Argentina 7216, ready for pushback. Set up from stand 605. Argentina,
So we see the FADEC has power down of the right engine.
Fiume Ground, good evening, pushback and start up.
So after this flight we'll go jump to Sao Paulo. I'm going to do a short hop from Sao Paulo to Santos Dumont in Rio, and we're planning to fly that RMP approach there.
216.
Fiumicino Ground, buonasera, ritardo.
There's our marshaller,
stand
fantastic.
402,
50.
request pushback start up.
Tarro 510, Fiume Ground, good evening. Pushback and startup is approved, connection 1015. Pay attention to Airbus A320 pushing back on November Golf from stand 408.
Push start are approved, and yes, we keep an eye on A320 on stand 408, Tarro 510.
Very slow. Normally I don't taxi that slowly into the stand. No, so we're flying the FENIX. So the challenge was from Brenold. He said he sent me to fly the FENIX.
Roma Ground, good afternoon, good evening, Ryanair 8 Zulu Whiskey at stand 507, ready for push and start.
Ryanair 82 Zulu Whiskey, Fiume Ground, good evening.
So we'll switch off the yellow ilic pump,
1015,
switch off engine 2.
Push and start approved, QNH is 1015, facing north,
So,
Ryanair 8 Zulu Whiskey.
There we go. 10. Robert, a pleasure, yeah. I hope you enjoyed the landing. Yeah, MCK is happy. So we not only did we do a flap 3 landing. What you mean? He said stop. What's happening? Are you joking? GSX, please. Oh. Yeah, I love this game. Parking checklist.
Parking brake or chocks.
Set.
Engines.
Off.
Wing lights.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Parking checklist completed.
Well, there you go. Yes, unfortunately, the scenery is somewhat nah, or meh, as we say. So let's have a look at daytime, shall we? Oh, that's bright. Nice and busy at Roma.
Argentina 7216, ready for taxi. Argentina 7216.
Yeah, it's daytime is not as bad. I think nighttime is a lot worse.
Sierra, Hotel, Papa, and Bravo.
Yeah, it's not model inside, is it? That's a shame. I guess for performance reasons.
Bravo, 7216.
Nice. So big shout out to the controllers here at Roma. That was really enjoyable. Thank you so much. Next stream is about, give me 5, maximum 10 minutes. I'll be back again, and we're back then in Sao Paulo, flying to Rio.
Holding point.
Thank you so much
Bravo,
for the support, everyone.
November Golf, November and
Big
Bravo
shout out to Pod.
with, 1880.
Big round of applause again to Pod for the €50 donation. Absolutely incredible. And Brenold for the €20 donation as well. Thank you so much for that for that generosity, for the kind gesture. Yeah, the route, I can give you the route. Yeah, sure. Let me just grab that for you. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm not sure if that's the right routing. Let me just have a look quickly. So let me go add an alternate. Sierra Bravo Romeo Juliet. Oops. Romeo Juliet. So there you go. Santos Dumont. So the arrival, it's giving me the Alazu 1 Alpha. Does that make sense? Yeah, Asalu. So from Asalu, what we're going to do then is fly an approach. And Brennell said we're supposed to go with the... Let's have a look here. Yankee, I think he said, right? Yeah, there we go. So Yankee approach. And that will take us via Gelut or Gelut, whatever that's called. So arrival. Yeah, there we go. So it takes us Alazu and then to Gelut as well. Yeah, and from there we'll fly the approach. Cool. So that's going to be the routing. I'll give you that here. Hang on. There we go. So that's the routing. Anybody who wants to fly along, I'll be on VATSIM. Yeah. Cool. Once again, thank you so much, everyone. Here comes the outro. Big shout out to my moderators. Thank you so much, guys, for all the help. See you in a few minutes if you like.